CATIA V5 Shape Sculptor, we're going to take a look at smoothing. So underneath the edit toolbar, we have the possibility to use the smooth function. As you can see, this will be performed on the mesh. So we can also do it only on a selected region if you want to. And we're going to have two parameters that we'll be able to control. So we're going to have the pressure and also the number of steps. This will be the case study model. So this is a 3D scan of a hand. The 3D model is available on the Artec page. So it's this one on their 3D scan database. I will put the link in the video description. As we can see, this was created using the Artec Spider structure light scanner. And we have over here the ply, file format, and the WRL. If you want to take this into CATIA, I recommend that you install Blender and you will convert that as an STL. So I have the information over here. We're going to see that this will be the default object. The following one will be smoothed using one step and a pressure of 50. As you can see, the number of points will be the same for both of those. For the following one, we'll have two steps at the same pressure of 50. And as we can see, between those two models, the one on the right has far less details on the mesh. And afterwards, we have over here 20 steps at a pressure of 50. And we see that this hand lacks all the details. So that we have over here, like the texture of the skin is missing. And over here we have 50 steps and a pressure of 90. And as we can see, this will lack a lot of information. But the complexity of the model will still be high. So as you can see, this will still be defined by the amount of triangles. In fact, if I will go within the wireframe, you're going to see that the mesh of all of those will be very dense. The only problem with smoothing is that if you apply this multiple times, you will lose a lot of detail. So in some cases, you want to lose those so that you can further work better on those surfaces. Otherwise, the mesh created and the surfaces that will be created on that mesh will be harder to define in CATIA, for example. But usually it's a good idea not to over smooth the models. As we can see on the 3D scan, we have really good details. So we see the palm lines over here. Maybe for the fingerprint, we don't have those. As we can see, the geometry over there is not that accurate. There are some shapes, but the fingerprint is not that visible. So again, just like with Refine, I highly recommend that you're going to copy the model before you're going to apply this. So for example, I copied over here the hand. I will use the compass in order to move it. So I'll just move it over here to the left. And let's see that pressure, that smooth. So I apply the smooth. We're going to have the number of steps. So how many times this will be applied. We also have the possibility to do a preserve volume and also a smooth boundaries. So all of those were created using the preserve volume. And we can also use a tolerance over here. So keep in mind that if you're going to add that tolerance, so let me just move over here the documentation. So this was created using the Stanford Bunny, as we can see. And we have over here one step at a pressure of 10. We see how that bunny will look. And to the right, we're going to have a pressure of 90. So even though it's only within one step of smoothing, we see that a lot of details on the mesh will be lost. And at the bottom, we have an example where we have 40 steps of smoothing applied at a pressure of 10. And we're going to see that this will even be, let's say, far greater smoothing than with a pressure of 90 over here. And at the bottom, we have this value, so 40 steps. with the pressure. In this case, it didn't preserve the boundaries. So we have this preserved volume and also smooth boundaries. And we're gonna see how the bunny ears will be slowly smoothened out until they will disappear. So keep that in mind that you can enable the preserve volume in order to keep the original volume of the mesh. So as you can see over here, within the fourth example, this hasn't been kept. We also have the possibility to smooth the boundaries. So let's say the free edges of the polygonal mesh. And for the tolerance value, if we're gonna check this, you're gonna see that the vertex is moved by a distance greater than the user specified tolerance. Then if this tolerance is not, let's say, enabled, the vertices will be restored to original position. So, and the smoothing will not be performed. So keep that in mind. So let's see, we have the mesh over here. I will not preserve the volume in this case, and I will apply 50 steps, just like the one over here on the far right, with a pressure of 90. I will disable the tolerance and I will click apply. And we're gonna see how that will be different from the one that I initially smoothed for this video. So we see those two models. We can also do a deviation analysis between those two. We have the possibility over here. We don't have it directly within Shape Sculptor, but we can go to Digital Shape Editor, and over there we can better see those two overlapped. But even visually, we're gonna see that there are some differences between those. But overall, the volume of the hands, of the fingers will be quite the same. So let's just do that at the moment. So I will just overlap those two. We have the original one, and this has been the one that we just smoothed out. So let me change the color of this. I'm gonna make this something with blue. I will jump to Digital Shape Editor so I can do a best fit between those two. We're gonna have the possibility to use the best fit over here. As you can see, we're gonna see this alignment. So I want to fit this model and that model. I don't want to keep the initial. I will click apply. And now CATIA will start to overlap those two models. In this case, since the model has quite a lot of vertices, it will take several minutes, as you can see within the update progress bar on the bottom right. Other software solutions also do this and a little bit faster. One of those solutions is GeoMagic, which is, let's say, faster to align 3D scan topology. But that software is specialized mainly for 3D scanning, while CATIA has some functionality within this area, but it's mainly a computer-aided design software. So we see how that updating slowly progresses. It's all the way up to 50%. Meanwhile, while that is still processing, let's see if there are some other aspects over here that we need to discuss. In this case, there shouldn't be. But the case study model over here with the rabbit present within the documentation makes use of the model created in 94. So this is, let's say, the first 3D scan model. That's why it's quite popular, and I'm sure that you have seen that bunny within various videos. While this is processing, I will just move this to the side over here. So we see that the stand for bunny. So this model was created by Greg Turk and Mark Levoy in 94 in Stanford at Stanford University. And it has been used in quite a lot of applications. Okay, so we have that best fit. As you can see, a little bit of the model has overlapped a little bit better. So we have over here that blue line is no longer visible on this finger. And now we can click OK. We can go to Analysis, Deviation Analysis, and we want the reference to be the one that was previously smoothed out. And I want this to measure with the one that we just created now. I will click apply, and now we're going to receive a deviation analysis, which will be based on the points. So as you can see, the maximum value is over here, 0.7 millimeters between those two models. And we're also going to have the negative maximum, which will be for the fingers over here at the top. We even see how the shape of one finger, since that preserved boundary was not checked, we see how that shrinked within the smoothing process. And we have over here a deviation, quite a large deviation, 1.7. Okay, so this was regarding the smooth within Shape Sculptor. I hope that you find this video useful. I will position a similar video over here on the left. I will add the CATIA V5 tips and tricks praise over here. And I will also put a subscribe button, so consider to subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. So that's it. See you in the next video.